What's up, Quadcopter fans? OnYourDrone.com. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing of a new drone I received in the mail, which is the MJX X600 X series. This is a hexacopter. This is the second hexacopter that I've purchased. I own a JJRC, I believe H20, and that's a mini or a micro. There's some problems with that quadcopter, losing binding. It doesn't have very good range, but it was very fun to fly. It had good pitch. It was able to handle well in the wind, even though it was so small. Other than the binding issue, I really did like it. So I'm hoping I'm going to get the same result with this MJX X600 Hexacopter. So I'll leave a link in the description of where you can purchase this. So just kind of going right off the bat, it says no FPV included, which I didn't order it with FPV. It's telling us right here that there's no camera included, which we know that. It does have headless mode, one key return to home, which is nice, so you should be able to hit a button. Should come right back to you. 3D flip, so it should have a flip button, 2.4 gigahertz, which is standard for the transmitters here. Light. Searchlight, not too sure about that. Take a look into that. Throttle limit button, so I'm assuming that you can limit your throttle, so then that way you might be able to get a consistent hover or not exceed a specific throttle limit. Left right control switch, so you can switch between modes, so it probably has European mode as well as let's say like a US or American mode. LiPo 7.4 volt. It's 700 milliamp, which is nice. So that means that we're going to have some power, and we're going to need some extra power because now we have 6 motors to deal with as opposed to 4 with quadcopter. So how to change a foot stand. Some instructions here on the side. All the reviews that I've read were really good about this. Mine's black. I did not get the white one. Go over and take a look at the back here. So we have our controller, one key return to home, our left stick, which is going to be our throttle, as well as our rudders, trim buttons, beginner, advanced modes. We have our speed modes here, stick mode. We're going to have our throttle gear limit here, some sort of LCD screen here or backlit screen, right stick. Here's our camera button, power indicator. Where is our flip button? Don't see a flip button on there. I'm sure it's around here somewhere. 3 times it takes AA batteries, so it'll take 3 of them. Down here it looks like an FPV setup that you can get with this. Looks like it'll work with a Android style device. The phone in the picture actually looks like some sort of Apple device though. And then just a little bit more about the FPV software down here below. So let's go ahead and open this thing up, see what it comes with inside. We'll go ahead and throw the box there in the background to look at. Alright, so in there we have a pretty thick instruction manual. Go ahead and toss that to the side. So this is how it comes packaged in here. Looks like we do have to assemble the arms. So I guess that's what the instructions on the side of the box were telling us. We'll just go ahead and pulling things out of here one by one. So we have our charger cable here. This is a little bit heftier of a charger. It is USB, which is nice because most of my minis are USB. I have a USB bank that I use in order to be able to charge most of my quadcopters. But this has, I believe, like a 2S almost. the 3S adapter there. So I do have some other chargers. I'll probably continue to charge it with this USB one. I don't want to use anything with a different voltage, so I don't damage the battery. Now, this did come from China. It was on sale, very cheap, and it actually arrived fairly quick, coming from China. So there's some ties here in the back. Let's go ahead and undo these. I always save these ties, you just never know when they'll come in handy. Alright, so we have the base of our quadcopter here. On-off switch, which is nice. Looks like our power cables, our battery could be bound up in here too. Yeah, it looks like our battery's right there. 700 milliamp. So this is our charging cable. 7.4 volts. So it probably won't work with any of the 11 volt chargers that I have. I can see right off the bat we have our orientation lights. We have our reds, our blues in the front, so this is a little bit different, which is kind of cool. And then we have this plug here. Not 100% sure what this is for. Might be to power a camera. If you were to hook up a camera here to this 3-pin JST port right there. Now these lights casings on here are very similar to the SEMA. So I'm wondering if any way they are related. Has a cool look. I have a UDIRC U27 inverted flyer that's got the same look with the lit eyeballs there for night flying. And so we have our plugs here for our motors. So there will be some assembly required. We have landing gear as well as prop guards. Our 4 motors, or I'm sorry, our 6 motors are all taped up in here. Try to pull one of these suckers out of here. They seem to be sandwiched in there pretty good. Hopefully they didn't get damaged during shipping. 2 of them just fell out pretty easy. So as you can see, we have our plugs here. Now we're probably going to have to match up wires. These all look black and red as far as the wiring goes on here. I do have blue-red here. So the blues are most likely going to be our negatives, reds, positives. I believe there's probably only one way that these can go into this 2-pin little JST plug here. So that shouldn't be an issue. And then it looks like there's a screw that goes in to the bottom here. That's going to hold this together. You just need to make sure that we have the proper motor on the proper arm. So then that way we can actually get the proper amount of lift. So like I said, we do have 6 motors. So we will have to assemble that. And then we have a bag of extra props. Looks like we have 6. We have our screwdriver, some screws. These are probably the screws to mount the motors. And then we have our sticks actually for the transmitter. So I'm going to go ahead and pull the transmitter out here. Alright, so I got the transmitter out. I have the quadcopter lying flat here on this board so that way we can see it. Sticks will need to be screwed in. Again, the outer box shows us what all the functions are on this controller. We have this throttle limiter here. We have several different buttons on here. Play around with too. Beginner, intermediate, advanced. Aileron rudders. This is a fake decoration right here. This takes 3 double A's. For the most part, it feels solid and sturdy. I mean, it's your typical controller in this price range, if not a little bit better. This is spring loaded, the throttle is not, which isn't a problem. Got a little clip here in case you want to hang this around your neck, in case you might possibly drop it. But overall very cool, feels good, feels sturdy, excellent in that price range. We have our quadcopter again, and so we'll go over the contents. So the quadcopter, 700 milliamp battery. We have our power cable. Well, I'm assuming, I guess, we just take this and plug it into here. Which might be a little bit of a challenge getting these two together. There we go. That's how I believe this is going to power up. Then we can charge it direct here, turn it on and off here, and then the battery is, you know, obviously here. It looks like you have to have a screwdriver possibly to take that out. So if you do have additional batteries, looks like it would be a little bit of a pain in the ass to get that out of there. But on the flip side, it'll prevent you from overheating the motors. It looks like these are going to be brush motors, and they are gear driven, so they have plastic gears inside them. So you're going to get 6 of these motors that you are going to have to assemble. You're probably going to have to pay close instructions to the instructions, so that way you're putting on the correct motor onto the correct arm, so that way the motors are spinning correctly. Then we got our, oops, let me fix the camera here. We got our charger USB cable here, which is for the 7.4 volt. Almost looks like a 3S connector, could be a 2S. We have our sticks for our transmitter, our mounting screws. We do have our prop guards. I don't know if I'm going to put the prop guards on. Seems like it'd probably be more of a wind sail than anything. I will use the landing gear. I just want to use the landing gear because I do plan on mounting my Mobius or run cam to the bottom of this. From what I've read, it can support it and it should be able to hold it up without an issue. So I plan on doing that. And I believe that's it. And then our transmitter obviously comes with this too as well. And then we also have our instruction manual. So I'll try to fly this as soon as possible and get it put together. Get my first flight up there with the review video. I'll let you know what I think about it. So if this video helped you out in any way, definitely leave a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more upcoming videos.